Today I will show you how to create any cloud shape that you want. So let's start. Hi guys, my name is Nemanja Sekulic and welcome to another fun episode. Today we will have a lot of fun creating some interesting cloud shapes. I will show you on one example and then it's up to you to release your creativity and create any kind of cloud shape that you want. So let's jump straight into Photoshop and let's start. Alright guys, today we will use this image as a background and here we will create some flying ship made from a cloud. So for that, first thing what we will need it's a silhouette of a ship. If you want to create some different cloud shapes, you will need the easiest way to use some silhouette that represent the shape that you want to have as a final result and then transform that shape into a cloud. So let's do that. We will use this ship here, the silhouette of a ship, and I will copy it and paste it right here to this photo. And I will use Ctrl+Command+T, rotate it, flip it horizontal and make it smaller. Okay, something like so. Let me see. And I will reposition it somewhere here. I think this ship will be somewhere here and press enter when I'm done with repositioning. And actually I will rename this layer to selection because we will make a selection out of this silhouette. So let's rename it. Okay. And now let's erase a few things here. I don't like this because it's not nice for a ship shape. And now it's okay. All right, the next thing what I like to add here is an anchor that will be here in the clouds. And for that I will use this silhouette of an anchor. So let's paste it here, make it smaller. Let me see the size. It's okay. And then move it down below, transform it, rotate it, something like so. And yeah, it can be right here. Why not? Right, and the third part of this silhouette is the robe. So I will use a brush. I will use a black brush, a little bit harder, something like so, and smaller, maybe like this, 100% opacity. Let me see. And that's nice, maybe even smaller. All right, and now I will create a rope to this anchor. So let's maybe do like so. And that's nice, like ship, it's throwing the anchor down to the clouds. And now I will group all three layers, like so. Oops, just group it with the shift, click on first one, what's happening. And now press Ctrl or Command E to merge them. And let's now rename it to selection. Okay, that's great. Now I will create a group with Ctrl+Command+G on the keyboard. That's the group. And I will just, with the Control, click on the layer, load this selection. Something it's happening with my tablet here. It's double clicking all the time. All right, with Control click, I will load the selection like so, and then go to the group and put a layer mask. Create that selection, transform this selection into a layer mask, and we now have a layer mask. That's really nice. And now we can hide this selection because we don't need that layer anymore. So now let's create a new empty layer and fill it with a white color. Just press Ctrl or Command backspace and that's it. And now we have really nice interesting shape that still doesn't look like a cloud because it has those really harsh edges and we don't want that. We want edges like those clouds right here. So we need to create a custom brush that will help us to refine those edges a little bit. So for that, if you don't know how to create a custom brush, it's exactly the same procedure as I did in how to create the smoke effect in Photoshop. You can find the link right here. And I will repeat that procedure with exactly same cloud that I did there. But now I'll be a little bit faster. And if you want to see it a little bit slower, go and watch that tutorial. All right, I will just select the cloud, Ctrl+Command+J, and now I have just the shape of this cloud. Now I will go to the channels, find the most contrasty channel, it's the red one, duplicate it, right? And now I will go with the levels and create really nice contrast, black and white image practically, something like so. Right, and use the lasso tool and just once again create selection around this. Inverse the selection with Shift Control or Shift Command I and just fill it with the black, because the black it's background color. Just press Control or Command backspace and that's it. Now we have this ready for selection. Now we will go here, Control click to load this selection, go back to the layers and just press Control Command J to extract this cloud out of the background. So now we need to do remove the color from that with Shift Control U on a keyboard just to make it black and white, and invert this to have, because we want to be a black not white, we can invert it with Control or Command I. And now we have this ready to become our custom brush. So let's again Control click to load the selection, go to the edit, define brush preset, and let's rename this to cloud. Okay, now we have our custom cloud brush, but it's not quite good yet. Let's go back to our image here and let's go back to this layer mask. Let's zoom the shape a little bit, make this brush a little bit smaller, and now if I paint with white color here, see, I can modify this edge, but it's not quite there. See, now we need to transform the properties to a little bit, change the properties of this brush. So to do that, it's really easy. Just go here to this brush icon or just press F5 on the keyboard. And now let's go first shape. I want the first one here, spacing to increase spacing a little bit, then go to the shape dynamics here and size jitter all the way and angle a little bit, something like so. Maybe the space it's not too much, maybe something like so. And I want to scatter it just a touch, something like so. Right, and now I need to try to see if this is good enough or not. Let me see, maybe the spacing is just a little bit less. And now go here and yeah, now it's really nice. We can make this brush a little bit bigger and just paint around those edges to make those edges. Always change the brush size. Now here is a smaller brush. I'm changing on my Wacom tablet here with this scroller, or you can use the bracket keys on keyboard and change the brush size. And just go all around like so to have those fuzzy edges, this really nice cloudy edges for a photo. Right, now I will just fast forward this because I will do this everything in the same manner, but I don't want you to watch me doing this maybe a few minutes. And just to show you before I fast forward, just to show you something, for example, when you go to this part here and you want to add some fuzziness here and you mess with those holes here, you can just paint it all around this and then just invert, use a black brush, make a smaller one and just paint new holes like so. It's really, really nice and easy. So now let's fast forward it and see you in a few seconds. Alright guys, here we are, and now we have, oops, I missed this part. Now we have finished the shape of a ship. And what you can do here, you can blur this. If you want, you can blur this mask a little bit by double click here on a mask and just go here and feather it a little bit. This is too much, of course, but maybe just a few pixel and a half or something like so. And you can always change that if you don't like, because this is non-destructive way to do that. All right, now that we have a mask here that looks a little bit more like a cloud shape, now we need to put some real cloud here into this group. So you can use different kinds of cloud shapes and paste it here in the group, and it will be visible only where the mask part is. But here I will use the existing clouds from this image. I will just copy this by holding Alt or Option key and drag it here in the group like so, and press Ctrl Command T, rotate it like so, and I will use those clouds here for a shape. So I'll make this, oops, too much, not so big. Let's make it a little bit bigger, like so, right? And let's reposition it. Let me see. Now let's find some sweet spots here. Maybe like so. Okay, maybe. Let me see. Yes, I like it like so. So now let's make it a little bit smaller. Let me see. Now you need to tweak it a little bit. All right, now let's press OK, and we can tweak it later if we don't like this. So maybe like this, it's great. And I will move the mask because I want to actually move this ship. I can move, not the mask, I can move the whole group here, right? I will move it something like, let me see, something like, I don't know, something like so, because I want something like so. I want this part to be a little bit more visible, and I want this anchor point to be right here. Let me see. That's not bad. Maybe, yeah, maybe like so. Why not? All right, and that's already looking better. This ship made of a cloud, So let me see if I feather this even more. This mask, this will be really, really nice. I like it, maybe like so, right? And let's maybe tweak this a little bit more. Let me see if I move it right here. Yeah, like so. I really like it. All right, now what I like to do here is to dodge and burn this ship to have a little bit more 3D effect. So if you don't know how to dodge and burn, you can watch my tutorial about dodge and burn right here. And I will use one of a few methods that I show in that tutorial. Like to use the curves. First, it's for dodge. I'll put this in luminosity blending mode because I don't want to mess with the saturation. Like so, invert the mask. And the second one, it's for burn part, like so, and invert it. So let's name this D for dodge. This is B for burn. And actually, I will use the same cloud brush here to dodge and burn. Just I will use 10% opacity because I want some imperfection in the shape of this photo, those clouds, right? I will brush this a little bit. I want to brighten this part because the light is coming from this direction, and actually this will be a little bit brighter and light will be hitting this part too, right? Don't worry about this strange colorization, we will fix it later. And maybe just a little bit of this part right here. Okay, like so. Let me see. This part here. Okay. And then we can do something really nice here. I will duplicate this and move. Actually, I will use just a portion of it. Just let me see. I will use just this portion of. All right, let's move it like so. Let's move it right here like so, and then I will use just this portion of that layer, put it in a mask, and that's nice. Now I can dodge that too, right? Let me see, brush and dodge it, make it a little bit brighter, right? And here we cannot see this anchor really good because it's the same color with like a clouds, but I'll fix that with dodge and burn. I will burn that part later, but this left part of the rope I want to dodge a little bit like so, and I need to fix this, right? Let me see, let's use something like so, right? That's nice. And now let's go and burn some parts, right? Let's burn those parts right here. If you don't like to watch this a little bit boring dodge and burning process, you can always fast forward this video. But this is the main procedure, and it's the same. If you want to make some maybe heart shape or car or bicycle or I don't know, anything you want, a house maybe, from a cloud, just find a silhouette of that, or you can draw something, and then this is the same procedure. Of course, this is just one of the methods that you can use to create this kind of effect. And here I'm a little bit sloppy because this is just for a tutorial, but it's the same procedure. If I would do this for a client or something like serious job, then I will spend a lot more time tweaking this. I will make definitely few different custom brushes here of the clouds, because I will use different shapes of those clouds brush here when I'm making the mask selection, and so on and so on. Right, I can go here to the group and I can hide some part. Let's use a normal brush. I can hide some part of this anchor because I will make impression that it's actually in the clouds, like so. Why not? I don't like this. I don't know what is it, but this is really, really nice. And actually, maybe I will tweak it even more if I have, let me see, if I have more time, I'll make this a little bit nicer, and so on and so on. Right now, it's really fun and interesting, and what we can do now, we can maybe make this background, right, we can use something like so. Choose the foreground color, something bright, like so, and then choose a background color, something dark from the image, like so. And then we can use a gradient map, like so. This is really, really nice, but I want to invert. I want this color to be right here and this right here, okay? And I can place this gradient map right here in a group. Oops, I don't want to replace layer mask. I just want to put this here and then lower the opacity to just fix this colorization of the shape. Maybe I can put it in a soft light blending mode to have more contrast, and something like so. Then I can put the same layer, duplicate, and put it right here, put it in normal blending mode, and bring the, let's see, oops, what's wrong? I don't know, actually this layer doesn't affect. Let's delete it. All right, I will use something. Oh, yeah, I didn't remove it out of the group. Okay, and now it's out of the group, and I can make this background a little bit more hazy, like so. See, maybe something like so, and then you can play and merge everything together with Shift Control Alt T to have a new layer with all those things, and go to the filter. And what I like to do here is go to the camera raw filter and play here, maybe add a little bit more clarity to the image, like so, a little bit more contrast. I will blow the highlights a little bit to have that dreamy look. See, now it's something, if you like something like so, it's okay. If you like something like dreamy look, maybe to boost a little bit the exposure. And then we can go here and dehaze it or haze it, depends of the effect you want to achieve. Maybe add a little bit more vignetting here, go to the split toning and colorize the shadows, something like so. And then the highlights, add a little bit more yellow to the highlights, see, but just a touch, something like so. This is before and after. Before and after, you can sharp this, lower the radius, and just sharp it a little bit. And that's basically it. You can play with the colors here if you like. You can play with the color temperature and so on and so on. But I'll just lower the saturation and boost the vibrance just a little bit. And let me see, press OK. And this is before and after, before and after. We have really nice shape made from clouds, and you can basically create anything that you want. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope that you liked this tutorial and that you learned something new out of it. You can use exactly the same method to create any kind of cloud shape that you want. You just need to find some silhouette of that shape and transform it into a cloud. Experiment, have fun, enjoy using this effect to create different kind of cloud shapes. And if you have any questions at all regarding to this episode, please leave them in the comments below. See you next week in the next fun episode. Bye bye.